give shelter to Rohingyas. The government has decided to shift Rohingya refugees in the national capital to flats with basic facilities and round-the-clock security in Delhi's Bakkarwala area. Now, Union Minister Hardeep Singh Puri called it a landmark decision and has said India has always welcomed those who have sought refuge in the country. Rohingyas in the national capital will be provided with EWS flats in the Bakkarwala area in the national capital, and apart from round-the-clock security, there will be provided with the UNHRC IDs. And he goes on to say India respects and follows UN Refugee Convention 1951 and provides refuge to all, regardless of their race, religion, or creed. So that's the tweet coming in from Union Minister Hardeep Singh Puri. Now remember, this comes right after the meeting. This decision was taken to shift Rohingya refugees living. A high-level meeting over the accommodation of Myanmar nationals. It was held the last week of July, was chaired by the Chief Secretary of Delhi and was attended by senior officials of the Delhi government as well. So it is thereafter that the Delhi police in the meeting was instructed to provide security as well to the premises where these flats are located. So Rohingyas to get roof in the national capital, and that's the plan being shared by Union Minister Hardeep Singh Puri, who's in fact even taken to Twitter to confirm the same. All right, we have a reaction coming in from Aam Aadmi Party's Saurabh Bhardwaj, who's hit out at the BJP, saying, and I quote, the BJP is the one who brought Rohingya inside India. They made them settle here. The BJP is patting its own back. Let me go across to Madhav joining us with more details. So first reaction coming in from the Aam Aadmi Party already. But this is, a big controversy that earlier has been seen doing the rounds in the political circles across the country. Likely to expect more reactions on the same line.
Well, first and foremost, let me tell you that this is a tweet that certainly has surprised many, because the matter had come up before the Apex Court for the last 2.5 years. There's been no hearing on this. So what has prompted this is certainly a question on everyone's minds. Now, from the MEA to the MHA, which have in the past stated their position, or the government of India's position, and even submitted an affidavit before the Supreme Court, this tweet of Mr. Puri certainly comes as a surprise, where he says that India has always welcomed those who've sought refuge in the country. A landmark decision, all Rohingya refugees will be shifted to EWS flats in Bakkarwal area of Delhi. They will be provided basic amenities, UNHRC IDs, and round-the-clock Delhi police protection. Has also gone on to make a point saying that those who made a career out of spreading canards on India's refugee policy, deliberately linking it to CA, will be disappointed. India respects and follows UN Refugee Convention 1951 and provides refuge to all regardless of their race, religion, or creed. As you rightly mentioned, this is the first response coming in from Saurabh Bhardwaj of the Aam Aadmi Party. It's in Delhi that in fact these 1,000-odd flats have been reportedly given to Rohingyas. He says, Bharat के अंदर रोहिंग्या लाने वाले भाजपाई, अब बसाने वाले भाजपाई, अपनी पीठ थपथपाने वाले भी भाजपाई. He's quoting the tweet of Hardeep Singh Puri. What is further is that tweet coming in and also from other right-wing figures. For instance, Tathagat Roy coming out to say that this is incredible, sir. Rohingya Muslims are illegal infiltrators, not refugees under the CAA. They are distinctly unwelcome even in Muslim-majority Bangladesh. Have we bid goodbye to all our principles? Are we talking about to light our own funeral pyre? So very strong words coming in from someone who's been a former governor, has been an outspoken person himself, Tathagat Roy. But within the right-wing camp itself, for instance, the VHP, we are getting reactions where they themselves are shocked and surprised by this particular announcement of the Union Minister, saying how could this have happened, because this is a massive departure from the policy position that has been articulated by the centre. Yes. They have given affidavits, there have been statements that have been issued in Parliament, also placed on the floor of the House, where the government has essentially said there's a section of Rohingyas that have been associated with all sorts of security threats, and therefore they, at least at this point of time, the government is not in a position to grant refuge. So how this entire process has gone in, where the United Nations High Commission for Refugees comes into this, whether there's been a formal application, because the MEA, at least at this point of time, does not appear to be in the know as far as this particular issue is concerned. How this will in fact pan out, and whether there's criticism coming in from within the right-wing camps and organizations themselves, is something that we'll have to watch out for, because this is a massive departure from the official stand that has been taken by the government in the past.
Yes, a massive departure from the official stand taken by the centre so far, from the position that taken on this very issue. Let me quickly put out, like Madhav was also pointing out, this kind of criticism is likely to come in from the right-wing groups as well. A reaction coming in from the VHP, which now says instead of housing Rohingyas, push them out of Bharat. So that's the response coming in from Alok Kumar of the VHP. First up, listen in.
Situation of Hindu refugees is abysmal who are living in the Majnutila area. They live in subhuman conditions devoid of even the basic human necessities. The condition of those Hindus, contrasted with the bounties proposed to the Rohingyas, makes a very stark view. We would request the government of India to reconsider its decision and instead of giving them with houses, plan to extradite them from the boundaries of the country.
So we heard the VHP response there. Let me go across to Mohit Bhatt also, who's joining us live. Mohit, now so far Rohingya refugees, according to many and in particular right-wing groups, have been seen as illegal immigrants, and now the fact that this particular development is being seen as an attempt to warm up to treating them as refugees, certainly bound to ruffle feathers of their supporters as well, it seems.
Well, you see, it seems nothing is right within the Sangh Parivar itself. Now, in fact, the VHP and the other right-wing organizations are coming out and they are saying that why there is this sudden change of the stand of the government of India. And in fact, Alok Kumar, in a statement which is being released by the Vishwa Hindu Parishad, they have basically said that Amit Shah in the parliament has said that Rohingyas will never be accepted in the country. Then why exactly is this change? A strong statement, a very strong statement coming in from Vishwa Hindu Parishad after the tweet that came in from Hardeep Singh Puri, in which he clearly stated that the Rohingyas will be accommodated in Delhi under the EWS quota. Around 1,100 flats would be given to them in Bakkarwala area, and also the security would be given to them. Now, what the VHP says is that why there is the change in the stand of the VHP, they are always the infiltrators, and we know for a fact that how various BJP leaders have always slammed the Rohingyas. You remember a few months ago, Adesh Gupta addressed a press conference and he attacked the Aam Aadmi Party and said that Rohingyas are getting admission in Delhi under EWS quota. He raised questions on the Aam Aadmi Party earlier, and now it seems that the government has taken a stand. But you see, a clarification or the notification has not yet come from the government. It's just the tweet by Hardeep Singh Puri. So what the sources have told us is that we need to wait for the official confirmation, because this has erupted into a massive controversy where, in fact, within the Bharatiya Janata Party and within the right-wing groups, within the Sangh Parivar itself, there is not the acceptance of this particular tweet that has been put forward by Hardeep Singh Puri, and the VHP have clearly said, and they have reminded Hardeep Puri of the Amit Shah statement in which in the parliament he said that Rohingyas will never be accepted in the country, and that is why the VHP has said they need to be ousted from the country. They are infiltrators, and we also know for a fact that how this controversy has been going on for a long time, that how the various BJP leaders earlier have come out and they have said
is this really the official
Rohingyas
stand of the centre remains to be seen? Because up until 2021, and we heard Union Home Minister Amit Shah has been pointed out by Mohit Bhatt as well on several occasions, point out something entirely different as far as the Rohingya issues goes. Let me go across to Mr. RP Singh joining us on the phone line. Mr. Singh, what do you make of this? You know, Hardeep Singh Puri taking to Twitter and really outlining the plan, the plan that perhaps the centre has for the Rohingyas to rehabilitate them to the national capital. A massive war of words coming in, and this time from the right-wing groups within. Seem to have lost that line, but we'll try and pick up more political reactions. A big story coming in, because so far the MHA has maintained that India is not a signatory to UN Convention of 1951. In that sense, a big political controversy that certainly has erupted. We slip into a very short break here. Be back with more news and updates on the other side.